Hello people, you know what this is, the living legend himself, Jay Mack, the humble vassal from the Fassst Lane. And thank you for joining me in the Fassst Lane. How you doing? I would appreciate it if you go in the link and follow the description box and follow the link to my nephew's website where he has this living legends. You know how we do it. We never die. Join the movement. Be legendary. And you know, the Fassst Lane, we deal with witchcraft activities, how to spot it and what to do with it. This is another video. And it's called Conduits for Evil. Excuse me. Now this is about the people around you who may be involved in witchcraft or who have the propensity to use witchcraft. Now this is what I've learned. Like with family and friends, we can put this all in one group. You may not learn, I hate to say this, but you may not be aware of this until after it happens, until after the fact. But this is what you look out for. This is what I learned once I had hindsight. And you know what that is. It's 2020. Now, I remember my 8th grade teacher taught me this. And it's not until years later I understood what she meant. Now, this applies to family and friends. Now, she had told me before to pay attention to how you feel before certain people come around. Pay attention to how you feel when they come around, and pay attention to how you feel when they leave. That's how you decide whether or not you keep these people in your life. Now, I listened to her and I told her thank you, and I had no idea the significance of this. People have an effect on you. And shout out to the Magi Warren Lance from the Winning Swag. He spoke about this, that people are like chemicals. When they come around you, they affect you instantly. Just like how if you put chemicals together, you introduce them together, there's an instant change. That is what happens to you. This is why you were friends with some people and not others. And this is why even people you were friendly with, you are best friends and even besties, because of this reaction. So you've got to pay attention to the influence, the effect people have on you. And to do that, first of all, you pay attention to how you feel before they come around, while they're there, and after they leave. Now, you have got, I hate to say this, but on the real, you have to judge who is who real quick. I can get into that right now. We got to judge who is who real quick, because these could be the people you have around you always and who you give access to. The hee-hee-ha and grin and skin in your face, you're also giving them access and an opportunity to do you wrong. And like Minister Ewan said, if you tied up deep in witchcraft, is a family member or a friend that you trust, that's involved. If you deep in this thing, it's someone you grinning and skinning with. Now, this is from what I learned in hindsight, so now you getting it before me. I wish I were you, but anyway. I hate wearing watches because they make my hands sweat, and I hate that smell on your skin. Yeah, anyway, so I took my watch off. Alright, yes. So, your family members and friends and the people you grin and skin with, may be conduits for evil to enter your life, even though you may not be doing evil. You may not have done evil. You were not even thinking of doing evil. But that don't mean the devil doesn't have a gate to get into your life. For me, that's why I like that song with Cardi B. I'm quick to cut someone off. If your right hand offends thee, chop that off. You gotta go. There's no love over here. I figure you're a threat to me, you gotta go. In the story, no long talking. Like I tell you, on this side, my warning shot is a headshot. There's no mercy over here. You're gonna have to cut people off. And you show no mercy. Because if someone could grin and skin in your face and then turn around and sell you go to the witch of Endor and sell you to the beast, or the jealousy, or to sell you to get luck or whatever, you can't be grinning and skinning with nobody. You gotta protect yourself. I am ruthless and heartless when it comes to protecting myself. Now, your family and friends, things to look out for. Character flaws. Chemical romances. Jealousy and evil. Jealousy and envy. That's right. Well, my niece, my niece had an eye for spotting jealousy and envy from a child. Envious. This person has an envious nature. I always tell her about that. This person has an envious nature. This is a 4-year-old, and she could spot it. So, people, if you spot anyone in your crew that's jealous and envious, please limit their access to your life. I can explain to you what's going on. Watch out for the suckers who wish evil on people. Watch that. Watch out for gossips. Gossips really ain't no red flag, but I don't trust them. But if any of these character flaws, chemical romance, jealousy, envy, wishing evil on others, and gossip, I don't trust a gossip, period. But I have to add that in there, because gossips usually have a mean-spirited. Another sucker to watch out for, people who enjoy seeing others enjoy other people's misfortune. Now, I ain't talking about people who had to come in. Now, if you had to come in and misfortune befall you, hey, I getting the popcorn out. I'm kicking my feet up and I'm going to enjoy the show. But I'm talking about if someone life hand them a bad deal, rather than offering help, you glad to see it happen. That kind of nonsense. Watch out for that. Excuse me. Oh. Me, I was never a jealous person. People, watch out for jealous people in your life. So, because I was not a jealous person, I wasn't able to spot it or see how dangerous it was. Now, this may not be the right story, but to me, anyway, I gave someone a ride in my car. So I gave them a ride, dropped them where they had to go. 5:30 in the morning, something told me, go and clean your car. What? 5:30 in the morning? But I know that still small voice. Please listen to that still small voice. I got up, cleaned my car. I decided to clean. I washed my car down. I cleaned the inside. And what did I find? The swine I gave the ride to dropped a marijuana joint in my car. I'm like, why would you ask me for help and I offered you help? Why would you do that? So now, if I had gotten stopped by the police, I would have been in possession of drugs. Whether it's a big thing or a little thing, don't matter. Just the fact that the person did that. And that's not what I'm mad at. What I'm mad at, what I was really furious at, is my mother drives my car more than I do. And my mother's a teacher and a librarian. So could you imagine my mother getting arrested for being in possession of drugs? No, the person, I see them, they don't even exist. When they talk to me, I just keep walking. I don't even know you. Because if I say something that's doing, I can beat the living daylights out of him. Then I realize that this evil nonsense Minister Ewan is talking about is so deep. I offered you help and you needed help, and you can return it by doing that. Hoping that the police stop me and find drugs. Then you get the nerve to come and grin in my face. And the thing is, that physical thing is a spiritual manifestation of what has happened in my life. The low-life dogs that sold me to the beast come around to see how I'm doing. It took me a while to figure out what was going on, but I didn't know it was the witch of Endor and the beast and witchcraft. But on the physical plane, I found out these people are suckers, so I don't bother with them to this day. If they die and need a penny, I walking straight past them. If I can meet them in hell for not helping them, I can meet them in hell. Because you a special kind of evil to put a child and someone else's child on the offering plate to the beast. People, I want you to know, I'm not talking to him myself. This is serious business. You watch out for jealous, envious people. You see anyone that's jealous and envious, you distance yourself from them slowly. Because you see, jealousy and envy is on the frequency where evil could whisper in their ear, and they'll go to the witch of Endor to sell you to the beast. And I remember my grandmother always say, never return good with evil. And just knowing I'd give this dude a ride, he dropped that in my car. I heard my grandmother come. Voice came back saying that, and I thank God she taught me that, because I would never do that to anyone. Now I see why my grandmother preached, don't render good with evil. That's a serious thing. When you watch people who go to those lowest people, they could do that physically, believe you me, they'll go to the witch of Endor. Then the next thing you gotta watch out for are spiteful and mean-spirited people. Keep your head on the swivel for these suckers. And this is how I figured out one of the swine that went to the witch of Endor and sold me to the beast. Now, I was a young man, 15, 16. And there was some little boy who needed help. Anyway, he'd asked for help. It was like a setting, a church-like setting, but it wasn't really church, it was with church people. I went because my grandmother dragged me, and to keep her quiet, I went. Now, I think the child just needed $15. $15. Now, I used to buy groceries, and I take that money and invest in my artwork, and I made money that way. Anyway, long story short, the little boy needed help, and he'd probably ask another adult, so the adult came to ask the other adults to offer aid for the child. And this great, powerful woman of God, this is why I can't be no man to God. This is why I am impressed that I'm doing something like this with religion. But this ain't religion. I cannot stand church people, and this is one reason why. I've gotten over that. I would go to church. I usually just go to church when the sermon starts, and when the sermon ends, I walk out. Now, my wife is a big church person, so I get to endure being to church on time, and endure being fellowshipping when I go to her church. So she loves my church, so we got to go early. I don't like when she wants to come to my church. It's when she comes to my church, when she goes to her church and I go to mine. When the pastor preaching, when he's about to finish, I leave. Because of the same thing. When, I can't remember if it was a man or woman who asked for people to help the little boy. The woman of God, this woman of valor, this great prophetess. This prophetess asks, where is the boy's ma? Where is the boy's pa? And I guess because she is a great woman of God, everyone decided to go along with her. And she did have a point. Where's the boy's parents? Well, anyway, because the great woman of God decided not to help because she wants to know where the boy's parents, no one helped. So the gentleman or lady who asked, they left and told the little boy they can't help. So when I saw that, I left. And I asked the little dude, because I mean, I was 15, 16, he was 11, 12, 10, 11, 12. What he needed, how much he needed. So he was like, he just needs $15. I had it. I had it for something else, but hey, I didn't like what I saw. The Bible, oh, thanks to my grandmother, I know the Bible left, right, and center, in and out. And the Bible says to protect orphans. And that's my sacred duty in life, to protect orphans. So I went to the little man and I gave him the money. And he said, thank you. Never saw him again. Just need a hand on there. But I couldn't believe this big, grown, stinking woman who was in a position to help. What is $15 to someone who is making $50,000 to $100,000 a year? I know because she brags. How the Lord has blessed her with all this money. And I said, you couldn't help that little boy. But me, who just buying groceries and with a little bit of money went and helped the boy. So anyway, they were looking for me and they asked where I was. So I told them. So she's like, well, why did you give it to him? So I said, well, why didn't you give it to him? You have more money than me. So she's like, that's not her child. That's his parents' responsibility. So I said, all right. Later on, just last year, in a dream, it was revealed to me that not only she is knee deep with the witch of Endor, also a sister. And I knew a sister. I felt something was wrong with her sister. But these two are always together, but I figured that's a woman of God and something off with her sister. I didn't think the woman of God would be knee deep with the witch of Endor. But from the dreams I had, clear as day, her and her sister with the witch of Endor. That's how I came up with this list. From the same incident. Alright, that's that. Oh, another thing, people. Greed. Watch yourself with greedy people. Greed is poison to the mind and the soul. And if someone's mind is poisoned by greed, and their soul is poisoned by greed, excuse me, what laws you think they would stoop to satisfy their greed? Do you think it's going to be too much for them to go to the witch of Endor? No. I had a story. I'm not going to really reveal it because the people's still alive. But it had to do with something illegal. And I'll call him friend loosely, just someone I know a long time ago. I saw him as an adult. And this person is a professional criminal. But they never got caught. So I saw them at work and I'm like, you have a job? So he said he saw something that blew his mind. And he asked the person, what in the name of God are you doing? And they were doing something illegal, and the person had spent all their money, invested all their money on this illegal act, so they needed it to go through. So they went to the witch of Endor for protection and safe passage. And the witch of Endor told this person to do something counterintuitive. And my friend, his mind was blown, because if you are doing something where you need the cloak of darkness, why would you be lighting candles? And guess what? By lighting the candle, you would think they would have been seen. But no. The guy told my friend that the witch of Endor told him to light candles. And the person was like, that don't make sense. We need to move in darkness. So the lady told him, you came to me for help. This is what you're going to have to do. Light candles. In the dead of night, with candles, they were able to complete their illegal action, and they made money. So my friend said when he got his half, he told the guy, that's all right. And he went, get the half, the job he's supposed to do, and gave the money away. He didn't want nothing to do with that money, because it was tied up in some heavyweight stuff. Now, at the time I didn't believe that, but I had met a few people who know about this. And they were like, yeah, it makes no sense to light candles to hide. But if you go to the witch of Endor and she, quote, quote, blesses the candle, when you light the candle which produces light that's supposed to allow people to see, will blind those who need to be blinded. I said, what? So I left that alone. I am going no further, because the people I spoke to are head double when it comes to these kind of things. So I want to let you know, when I put greed on this list of what to watch out for in people, watch out for greed. And I can give you another example. This two examples from Minister Ewing. One, where this guy, in order, well, three, to get luck, they had to sacrifice something they love. So the gentleman didn't want to sacrifice his children. He put his grandchildren on the block. So he flourished, the children flourished, then the grandchildren came. Calamity. So the next thing to look for, people, calamity happened out of nowhere to the members of the family. There's another one. This gentleman, he wanted luck. And the witch of Endor told him, you'll make a sacrifice, we need someone you love. This swine put one of his siblings, put his nephew on the block. And like Miss Ewan said, everything was going good in the boy's life. Then nosedive. That touched me hard, because that's exactly how my life was. 100 miles per hour, like whoa. Then the crash and halt. And this next one, people, be very careful of greedy people around you. This guy wanted luck, and according to Mr. Ewing, when he went to the witch of Endor, the witch of Endor promised him, you're going to get luck, but you got to make a sacrifice. So he said, what? The witch of Endor told him to bring pictures of his children. So he went and got pictures of his children. The witch of Endor gave him a coffin to put the children in. Then she told him to go bury it in this part of the graveyard at this hour of the night. I will work myself to death before I do something like that. Before I go to the witch of Endor for me. And worse than even if I go for me, it passes on to my children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren. No, sir. And for me to go and get my children's pictures, put them in a coffin, then cover that coffin up, then dig a hole to put the... I'll kill myself first. I don't even deserve to live for doing something like that. And I feel that one about the gentleman who he didn't sacrifice his children. So he sacrificed one of his siblings' children. I feel that. And my dream revealed to me that in the least I got sacrificed 3 times. 5 the most. And I've got a couple of attacks from other people. They realize I know what they're doing, but I ain't telling them. You know why? If I make them aware, they can go back to the witch of Endor and resell me. But they don't know. Now the beauty is, just what they wished on me is now start happening to them. Now I only say a prayer for their children and grandchildren, because they innocent, just like I was innocent. But God don't sleep, people. Don't ever forget that. God don't sleep. I know you're supposed to say God does not sleep or doesn't sleep. Like this, like I had a friend of mine, when he is angry, he butchers the English language. That's how you know how mad he is. So I get to butcher the English language. God don't sleep. God don't sleep, people. So you're not here by accident. It's time to wake up. God waking you up, baby. It's time to get up. Now you know what to look for in the physical world. See, I learned this backwards. You learning it forward. See, all this came about once I had the dream. Then everything made sense what was going on in the physical world. So now you can spot what's going on in the physical world, and you don't got to wait on no dream. You can rebuke that right now. Alright. The next thing, watch out for people who like to gloat and get off on people's misfortune. But I already said that. Be careful of people who like to wish evil on people. But yeah, so get off on other people's misfortune. Another thing, MVP. Shout out to Doggy Diamonds for that. He talks about that. MVP. Morals, values, and principles. Make sure you know what the MVP levels are and the people around you. Because their lowest, with people with high MVPs, their lowest they don't sing to. Their lowest, people who have morals, values, and principles don't sing to. There are things they don't do. But people with low morals, values, and principles, or worse, no morals, values, and principles, you better watch them. Get them out of your life. Get far away from them. Don't give them access to your house. Don't give them access to your car. And if you give access to anyone with low MVP or no MVP, check your car every square inch. So remember, these people can be used as conduits for evil to enter your life, even though you don't have any conduit for evil to enter your life. Morals, values, and principles. They are not outdated. This is serious business. Oh, and another thing you're looking for, people with no self-respect, no dignity, and no honor. Watch that. Be very careful of messing people with no self-respect, no dignity, no honor. If you hear anyone say, no one cares how you get it, as long as you have it, you, before you even take your the next breath, be in opposite direction. Because people with no self-respect, no dignity, and no honor, when they meet greed, if it means selling you out physically, setting you up physically to take a fall for something they're doing, or going to the witch of Endor, they'll do it. Well, I hate to say this, but you've got to be very careful of people, who are promiscuous. I could be wrong, and if I am, do forgive me, but you've got to be very